All right. LDBC, there's your boy, the Coach Live on the Coach Show, the Coach Show Live. Okay, folks, welcome to my Afterthoughts on the Colorado Buffaloes versus the Oregon State Ducks. Now, guys, if you know anything about football, you pretty much know, okay, going into a game, that football games are somewhat predictable. They're very predictable because you kind of know what a person has. And what I mean by you know what a person has, you can see that the Colorado Buffaloes were completely undersized. Now, I'm not saying that they're like an undersized team that couldn't have won, but the likelihood of them winning, it was very low. It was extremely low. In fact, even Deion himself said that, hey, we're going to go out here and we're going to play hard, and don't be surprised if we shock the world. So what that meant really is, we're playing at a disadvantage, a huge disadvantage. And folks, I don't think anybody expected Deion and the Colorado Buffaloes to go undefeated. I know I didn't think they were going undefeated. It would have been nice, like you tuned into the game because there's about like a 10% chance you thought, what if the Colorado Buffaloes could do the impossible? What if the Colorado Buffaloes could actually do the impossible? And I know all of you listening to this video, you thought that for a second in your mind. Before that first kickoff, before the ball was even kicked off, you thought in your mind that what if they do it? When Oregon scored that first touchdown, you said, hey, that's nothing to it. Okay, hey, it's just a touchdown. The Colorado Buffaloes, they've been down before. Okay, they've been down before. I've seen them do it. They can do it this time. When they scored 2 touchdowns, over Colorado, you kind of start thinking, okay, the lead's increased. But, hey, you know what? Deion going to motivate these guys. He's going to, really get in them and make these guys want to go and fight a war. We all thought that. Guys, all of us, at some point in time, thought that Deion Sanders, just his pure will and him being on the sidelines, would just will these guys to victory. Guys, we thought that for a second. All of us are guilty of it. We all are. But Deion Sanders is a man. He's a human. We're all human listening to this. Okay? The thing is, let's talk about reality. Okay? Reality is, the Colorado Buffaloes were 1-11 last year. That's pretty bad. That's not bad. That's terrible. They were 1-11 last year. These guys, they've already won 3 times the games they won a year ago. But here's the thing, though. When you saw this game, you saw that undersized offensive line. And for the first time, you understand why the Buffaloes struggled against Colorado State. You kind of understand, too, why the Buffaloes, they kind of had a tough time with Nebraska in the first half. And they came back and won. And you even kind of understand that, they probably would have done even better against TCU. The offensive line and the defensive line, they're severely undersized. And when I saw these guys line up against Oregon, I said, oh, damn. I said the Buffaloes got their work cut out. Guys, when you saw Shedeur Sanders, when you saw the offensive line being pushed back into Shedeur Sanders, you begin to really see that really the deficit of an offensive line that the Buffaloes really do have. They don't really have a true offensive line. And it's eye-telling, reality sets in, and then you begin to realize Oregon State is a powerhouse. Oregon State is a machine. I mean, not Oregon State, I'm sorry, Oregon. Oregon is a machine. Okay? They're a machine. And they're steamrolling this Colorado Buffaloes defense. They're steamrolling the Colorado Buffaloes offense. They're steamrolling this person. And then not only, moreover, it just seems like every time that the Colorado Buffaloes got something going, here come the penalties. Here come the penalties. Every time they got some positive, yardage, here come the penalties. They almost had more penalty yards than they had offensive yards altogether. Shedeur Sanders can't do it by himself. Jimmy Horn Jr. can't do it by himself. Okay, Shiloh Sanders can't do it by himself. The Stars can't do it by themselves. Unfortunately, in this game, you can be as talented as Shedeur. You can be as talented as Shiloh. You can be as talented as Mike Harrison and Jimmy Horn Jr. You can have all this talent. But if you don't have the meat and potatoes that's going to lead the way, you can forget it. Shedeur Sanders got sacked a record high 7 times in this game. 7. And then you saw the teeny tiny running back trying to pass protect. Guys, there's some things that definitely need to be changed. But there's some good things. The Colorado Buffaloes, they can play with the Oregon Ducks despite being blown out. They can play with those guys. They can 100% play with them. But in a game like that, when you're severely undersized, you can't make mistakes against the Oregon Ducks. And I think that Team Colorado in primetime, they made too many mistakes. Way too many mistakes in the game. And unfortunately, when you make a lot of mistakes, any mistake you make, the Oregon Ducks, quack, quack, they make you pay. Any mistake that you make, they make you pay. Colorado, they've got a rough road ahead of them. They got a rough road. They got Arizona State coming up. My God. That's another game. They got Utah. They got so many excellent teams in the Pac-12 that they're going to have to rise to the occasion. Can they rise to the occasion? The answer is yes, they can. They have the heart, the willpower. I mean, the Colorado Buffaloes, this is a fighting team. They fight. They'll fight. They'll fight in the trenches. They'll fight to the end. The Colorado Buffaloes scored that last touchdown. And you know that there's something there. But there's also a lot not there. As I end the video, I want you guys to understand that it is going to take time for Prime Time to get this team where he wants it. It's going to take time. We knew that him going undefeated was a bit unrealistic. Okay? If Deion can have a winning season this first year, above 500, then the whole Prime effect has taken effect. See, mark my words. Just because that the Colorado Buffaloes got blown out, this doesn't mean that they're not a dangerous team. They're a very, very, very dangerous team. They're extremely dangerous. You got a Jimmy Horn Jr. that can break away, and also you have a Weaver that can also break and go and hit a big play. You got Shedeur Sanders that can take off and run for a big play. You got a lot of playmakers on the Colorado Buffaloes team. This team is nothing to take lightly. You can't take them lightly. You can think that they're all hype. You can think that all they do is they post stuff online. The Colorado Buffaloes, they work very hard. And any coach thinking that they can just walk in there and steamroll these guys without any fight, that coach is stupid. What does Prime need to do? What Prime Time has always been doing. But I do believe that some of the video footage, I believe that some of it, I think some of it, when it reveals like the play and the movement and them running plays on video, I think those need to be cut out. The motivational speeches are fine. They're great. Okay? The motivational speeches are awesome. They're amazing motivational speeches. But I think the rest of it, I think they need to cut it short. And I think they need to get back to just playing blood and guts football. That's all. But Deion Sanders, mark my words, make no doubt about it, he's changed the landscape of college football. And you better believe that every big school in the country, they're terrified that Deion Sanders, these young men, they're going to run in drones to play for primetime.